2 months.
Happy returning podcast.
Welcome to Telly Talk, where we talk about what's on the telly, and by that I mean we talk about what's on our minds. And it's because we're Telly, and I'm Soul, and I'm here right now.
I'm Tyler, and happy Pride Month. We failed this month because we've been busy, but it's okay because we're still doing one Pride themed.
One, if we can make it.
What better to do it on than the movie about transgendering, made by the transgenders, that came out like a year ago. I saw the TV glow. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. I Saw the TV Glow is an A24 film that came out about a year ago. It's made by Jane Schoenbrunn.
Schoenbrunn?
They are a transgender American filmmaker.
Amazing.
And
didn't they write this about their experience?
This movie is explicitly about their experience being transgender, but okay, we should describe what the movie's about, and then I'm gonna talk about like 3 different readings of this film and what this film is about in like 3 different ways. But first, let's describe the plot. The story follows... Yeah?
Weird.
That's the point. This movie is supposed to make you uncomfortable because it gives you contact high gender dysphoria. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable and feel unsettled. Like the entire movie is just like unsettling.
I just thought it was awkward.
That too.
That's just how the actors were.
That was
and I
intentional.
like how they acted because Maddie, she was acting like Bella Swan the entire time, and like the struggle, like it sounded like it hurts to speak, like the way she was talking, and she was literally acting like Bella Swan, and I think that's so amazing. And then I thought it was really funny that what was the other guy? The other guy,
Owen?
I like that he kept his voice really high the entire time. That was really funny too, because even when he was like 60, his voice was at that same pitch, and sometimes it was just really funny.
So, like, okay, to understand how transgender this movie is, this movie made me cry.
That doesn't explain anything.
I felt this movie on such a deep personal level that I cried while watching it. Or this movie makes people start hormones. This movie does so many things.
So I watched this movie this morning, and you know how you watched Lost in Translation and you're like, yeah, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
I think, and it's because you didn't watch it in the right setting.
Yeah.
In like the right time, in the right mood, and I think that's what I went through. Like I should have watched it last night, it would have felt so much better.
You need to watch this at night in the dark while a bit high. I think is the best way to watch this movie. I discovered this movie while I was high. I just saw people talking about it while I was high, and I did a deep dive and like researched the entire thing before even watching it, and I was like hyper fixated on it before watching it. And then I watched it in September, and I was like, holy shit. Like this is one of like the best films ever made to me. This 5 stars. I'm spoiling the end of the episode. 5 stars.
It was cool to look at.
This film is perfect, and there's so much to talk about, but first, we're gonna describe the plot. The plot, there's this, like, middle school quote-unquote boy named Owen who lives in the suburbs, who discovers this show called The Pink Opaque, in which Isabel and Tara have this, like, psychic connection. They're teenage girls, and they, like, fight monsters of the week, and it's basically Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's what it's modeled after. And like that's the imagery it's supposed to invoke in you, is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And there's this big bad Mr. Melancholy who is a man in the moon that uses footage from the Trip to the Moon movie, that really old movie we watched for movie month. You remember that?
Yeah.
It uses imagery from that to reference like folklore type things of like there being paranormal things going on with the moon. And then there's this slightly older girl named Maddie who's gay and also really likes the show, and they bond over the show together, and then Maddie runs away and disappears. and Owen doesn't, and then Maddie comes back like 4 years later and is like, the show is real.
Actually, it was 8 years later,
Yeah,
which was crazy. Because okay, let me tell you when I so it was like he went through all this shit and then he lost everything. He lost his mom, he lost the show. The show got canceled and then his friend ran away. And then it was just like, okay, so the movie's like tying up now. And I look at the time and we're only halfway through. There's still like an hour left in the movie. And then it just cuts to 8 years later. And I'm like, what? That's insane. That it just cut to eight, like not even like, oh, a couple months later, like, oh, a year later. 8 years later. 8 years later. Like he's a full adult now.
like
That's crazy.
I'm gonna get to that too. Like that's part of it. That's part of it. Yes. Maddie comes back and is like, the show is real, and like what happened in the so the show got canceled when Maddie ran away, and the season 5 finale was like Mr. Melancholy traps Isabel and Tara in the Midnight Realm, and like buries them alive, and now they're trapped there. But then the show gets canceled, so it's like you're left on this cliffhanger, and then Maddie is like, you gotta come with me, and we're gonna like, I escaped by burying myself alive, and now you're going to too. And then Owen is like, no, that's scary. And then Owen goes on to live a life that doesn't feel real, and time doesn't feel real, and it just like he's not like just very disassociative. And then the movie ends and he's dying. Did you see in the fun center all the things that were wrong? Like there was a kid playing in like the money machine, and the thing that said you're dying.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about.
I also thought it was really weird that like the Fun Center, all the games were based off the Pinko Pig show. But if it was canceled and like nobody really knew what it was, like why did they make a Fun Center based around the
That's
show?
because they're in a fake reality, and the real reality is the Pinko Pig. So it's like everything is like stemming from the real Pinko Pig reality, so things just like infiltrate into this fake reality from it. You have to, okay, this is what I'm gonna get to, is halfway through the movie, Maddie returns, and it tells you the show is real, this is a fake place, we are in the Midnight Realm, and we are dying here, and we have to go, like the show is what's real life, and we have to go and get back into the show because we are the characters. And you, as the viewer, you have to make the choice. Do you believe Maddie or not? Do you think she's insane, or is that really what's happening? You have to make that choice. And in doing so, you change your entire interpretation of the movie. If you do not believe Maddie, this is a show about being obsessed with this is a movie about being obsessed with the TV show, and it's controlling your life and living in nostalgia and how that's bad for you, which is such a shallow interpretation because the movie just screams that it's about being transgender. And what you need to do is you need to go, Maddie is telling the truth, and then you can view the entire movie as about being transgender, and it's such a better way to see the movie. It's so people who are not queer are like, wow, a weird movie about being obsessed with a TV show. And it's like, sure, I guess, but like that's boring. That's shallow. That's not what it is.
I thought it was really weird that his middle school's Nate was called Void High.
Void High School, VHS? Wow, what a coincidence. It's almost like their reality isn't real because their school is literally called VHS. Wow.
Well, also it's like, who names the school Void?
Mr. Melancholy. So you have to view this reality as the Midnight Realm that's not real. And here, the director purposely made the book pages, the book, when Owen finds like the TV channel guide that's like, we're starting season 6 episode 1, Escape from the Midnight Realm, the director purposely made the text in the shot visible, and it's hard to read all of it, but it says here, I'm just gonna read like what the pages say, because the director says this gives you more context to what's happening that you wouldn't otherwise have. It says season 6 episode 1, Escape from the Midnight Realm, part 1, and it says synopsis: Mr. Melancholy has escaped his ancient prison trapped inside the dark side of the moon, something something. Genocidal Moon Man's lunar forces have finally stolen 1,000 something something weird teenagers. Now there's no moon, no sun, just melancholy. Something something recap. At the end of the last season, Mr. Melancholy finally tricked Tara and Isabel. Something something where everything began back at their old sleepaway camp. Now our heroes, something something, trapped inside a nightmarish hellscape, the likes of which they never could have imagined. Something something. They're buried deep underground, hugged only by branches of something something, the same place where they first laid eyes on each other. The next page, and you better believe our weeping willow something something that Mr. Melancholy's awful reign has officially begun. Someone get her a tissue. Things have never been worse. A county-wide mandate passed by Senator Sprinkly, something something never-ending math class. A new dress code restricts any citizen in the entire country from wearing anything that isn't Crater Gray. Instead of music, the college radio station now only plays mattress commercials, and worst of all, the double lunch has been transformed from the coolest club in town to Mr. Melancholy's home base, where he, Marco, and Polo are keeping all 4 members of the Absolute Loser Brigade held prisoner. No, he's not planning to kill them anytime soon. He's just planning to feed endlessly on their weirdness, converting everything beautiful about their souls into stinky star fuel. So where is Isabel? Where is Tara? Where are our heroes when we need them most? Something something somewhere very far away, in a town oddly reminiscent of the real world they need to return to, but different in so many subtle, insidious, horrible ways. But one thing is for sure, this town has been bled of magic and wonder. It's all conformity, all the time. In this awful place, our 2 heroes no longer even remember that they are the pink opaque. Here, they don't even feel like heroes anymore. Here, every monster they fought, every joke they ever shared, all of the heart-stopping moments of their lives detailed in the pages of this very episode guide weren't real. No. Instead, in this world, all those are just the weekly transmissions of a dumb TV show. Absurd, right? Who would fall for such a something something something? Isabel and Tara, at least at first. Can Isabel and Tara find each other again on the hazy waves of the psychic plane? Something something destiny as it glows dimly. The Luna juice and soil is caught in their throats and they can't something something, don't have much time. But then again, time might not work exactly like we think it does. After all, I'm writing this right now, aren't I? But you're also reading this right now. Strange. Tara is the first person to realize something is very wrong. That time and reality aren't something something. This home where she's been placed is little more than a mental prison deep inside something something. Revelation comes to her slowly, hazy, like the snow inside a snow globe. So that's the text, if you like pause and read from the episode guide, and that kind of confirms that that's what Maddie says is true, that's what's happening in this movie, is that Owen is Isabel and Maddie is Tara, and they are trapped in the Midnight Realm, and that they need to get back to the real world by burying themselves alive. Isn't that cool?
I think that's insane. I think I need to rewatch this movie.
So, you literally do. So, okay, the reason this is transgender is this is so cool. Usually horror is there's horror about like transforming bodies. Like body horror is like a body that's not your own. That's the horror. The horror like is transitioning. This movie says, what if the horror is not transitioning? This movie says not transitioning is still a choice, and you're going to die, and it's going to suffocate you, and it's going to make time not feel real, and you're going to disassociate your entire life. Like this movie, the horror, that's what it is. The horror is not transitioning. Owen chooses not to transition, not to accept that he is Isabel, and he suffocates, and he's buried alive, but there's still time, and his heart is still beating, and he just needs to accept himself, and he needs to claw his way up from the dirt and let the inside of him, the pink opaque, literally pink opaque, that as a term, like he's pink on the inside, like he's pink. Like, oh my god. And he needs to accept that and claw his way up from the dirt and release what's inside of him, because there's nothing inside of him right now. It's just TV static.
Wait, this is a big brain moment for me right now.
Are you realizing the movie?
It's... No, I made my own
What's your thought?
So, they're in the Midnight Realm. Is that why it's always nighttime? Because when I was watching, I'm like, why is it always night? Like, it's so dark. Like, it's always
Everything happens
nighttime.
at nighttime. Like almost all the
And
scenes.
and and that's because they're in the midnight realm where it's like always night.
Probably.
That's crazy.
It's really cool, like all the messages, like the messages of like hope and that there is still time, like that's what the chalk says. And it's like, so like usually media about trans people is like, what if you're faking it, what if it's not real? And I saw the TV glow is the opposite. It says, what if you're not faking it, what if you're not faking it and you keep living your life hiding like this, afraid to look inside of yourself and not accepting who you are even though you know something is wrong. And that's what this movie asks. And it's the TV static, and it's like he says like he feels like there's nothing inside of him, and it's like they're literally suffocating to death in the like buried alive, like they're, and that's why he's like wheezes as he's older, because he's literally in Isabel is suffocating to death, and he doesn't know it, but he does know it. He just doesn't accept it because he's scared of what's inside of himself. And it's supposed to be like hard to watch, and it's like it draws out what not transitioning and what a life like that looks like. And yeah.
I just want to say one of my favorite scenes in this entire movie was him at the birthday party, and everyone's just silent, and he just starts screaming, and he's like, I'm dying! Someone help me! And I'm like, that is literally me every single day. That's me
That's my
every
favorite
day.
scene is when he sticks his head in the TV and his dad pulls him out, because like the dads look a lot like Mr. Melancholy, and it's like it literally, like it says that like the things in the town are put there to like keep them from realizing who they are, and like the parents are in on it. And it's like it's
The parents, the mom who like loved her kid and then fucking died
yeah,
from
I don't know what's going
cancer.
on with the mom. The mom confuses me. Maybe they want something good there to stop him from realizing that that's it. It's like, oh, I had good parts of my childhood. Like I can't transition because I had good parts of my childhood. Like that's something my mom said to me. My mom is like, but you were happy as a kid. You can't be transgender because you were happy as a kid. I
That makes
know.
no
So it's
sense.
like maybe Mr. Melancholy put something good there to make him be like, there's good things going on in my life. So like I'm content here, because that's how he like talks about his childhood to Maddie. Maddie's like, those are fake memories put there to hold you back, and he's like, no, my dad took me to baseball games, which is like just like vague, but it's like it's holding him back from transitioning. And it's like the dad, he like is accepting himself watching the final episode, like he knows, and he puts his head in the TV and the dad pulls him out, and he's like screaming, and like the TV static is coming out of him, and he's like, this isn't my home, you're not my dad. And it's like that's what it feels like. And the dad is like pulling him out, like your parent is stopping you, is holding you back. It's so and like by choosing to believe Maddie, it's like simulating accepting a trans identity instead of like not believing transgender people.
I thought it was so cool when he was like old and he rewatched the show, and it's just like a silly little kid show, and it was nothing like he remembered when he was a kid. And I'm like, that is probably the realest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And that's why cis people watch this and they're like, oh, this is about nostalgia, because like things seem so good when you're a kid and you get obsessed with it, and then it's not when you're older. But that's, if we're gonna look at this as it being about a TV show, if we're gonna look at it like that, fine, let's do it. It's about how when you're a kid you have queer experiences through media, and you see yourself in media, and you have a shared experience with other people, and like you have your first gay crush on someone in a movie, and you pick which gender you're gonna play when you play Pokemon, and you pick which character you see yourself in and want to play pretend as. It's like you have your queer childhood experiences through media, and that makes that media so much more important to you. And when you get older and you repress yourself, you go, no, I'm going to be a man, I'm becoming my dad, I'm going to be a man with a family, and you go, that is childish. Like he's seeing it as childish because he sees being transgender as immature and childish, and it's like, man, when I was a kid I really wanted to be a girl, and that can never happen. This is so, like, that's just a childish, immature thought. Like that's embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing to that I used to want to be a girl. So he sees the show differently. That's what that's saying. And it's like, really, if we go back to the literal interpretation that he's literally in the midnight realm, it's he's not having that psychic connection with Maddie anymore. He's watching it by himself, and it's on streaming, not on the VHS. And it's like, did Mr. Melancholy put it there in a changed way so he couldn't access his old memories anymore because he realized that the VHS runs was helping him access his old memories? That's how I would interpret that, is the streaming version was planted there by Mr. Melancholy, because it goes from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to like Goosebumps, and like everything about it is different, and it's not about nostalgia and being obsessed with the TV show, it's about being transgender. Thank you.
I'd like to share my biggest struggle when I play games. I spend honestly the most amount of time choosing the gender of the character I'm going to play. That's like the my biggest debacle whenever I'm in like the character creation. Even if you don't get to create a character, you usually still get to choose whether you play a boy or a girl. And I sit there for at least 5 minutes being like, do I want to be a guy or a girl? And usually, depending on the game, it's either I want to be a man because I'm like, yes, I like being man, but also I'm like, oh, but then I can't be a lesbian. Like that's what changes. Like if there's romance in the game, I'm like I have to be a lesbian. But if there's not, I'm like I'm going to be a
Right?
man. That's how
That's
I
so
choose gender.
real. That's your gender is liking women.
Yeah. But also man.
Okay, this is an interview with like the creator of the show and like the actor who plays Owen, and this is why cis people just like aren't getting it. The interviewer goes, "Where did you get the inspiration for this movie?" And Jane goes, "From being trans and closeted in the suburbs." Literally, I love that the movie, the horror is the suburbs. The suburbs, like being trans and closeted in the suburbs. That's the horror. They're trapped in the suburbs and they want to get out.
Yeah.
That's, oh my god, that's beautiful. The interviewer then tells like the like get assistant director or someone, this is someone like the producer or someone else important, and says, haha, yeah, we all get overly obsessed with TV shows. Did you relate to that? See, that's what this is. People think it's about. And Bridget goes, that wasn't really what it was about. To me, the movie was about wanting desperately to connect to the reality of being alive and working to tell your truth to someone else and trying to help them recognize there's that same truth in them. I relate to that a lot. That's important to me. And the interviewer goes, yeah, it's like feeling that reality's not satisfying. And then says to the actor who plays Owen, says, your character really goes down the rabbit hole. And Owen says, my character was becoming less of himself as he got older. When we're younger, we're looking for references for our identity, and he sees himself in the show, but then can't see himself without the show. And the interviewer goes, it was so 90s.
Ew. I just think he was unprepared.
Yeah, probably. It's just like, it's such a surface level reading of the movie. But it's like, it screams that it's about gender. Like the opening scene with like Kid Owen in the tarp with the blue and the pink and the purple and like those shots, and there are just
no, literally, it's so okay. For someone who like needs to rewatch the movie and really actually look into the everything, just from like surface level things that I saw, the color theory was just all purple and blue and like pink and blue. Like that was literally every single color
like
was just pink and blue. And so you're like, okay, apparently this is about gender. Like from the first scene, you're like, okay, the entire parachute is pink, purple, and blue. This is either gonna be about bisexuality or fucking
like
transgenderism.
it's literally called the
And
pink
then
opaque.
they yeah, and like I first I thought I like misheard him and I thought it was called the pink on pink and I was like, okay, interesting. Then I realized it was called the pink opaque and I was like, that's such a better title. And then like going forward, you see him like watch the show and his dad's like that show's for girls and he's like, "Oh." And like he kind of realizes something there and then he goes through and you realize like when his friend disappears and then comes back, they go to this bar. In the bar, they're singing a song, being like, "I wish I was a boy." Like, "Oh, I wish I was a boy." And it's these girls singing, being like, "Oh, boy, I wish I was a boy." And then his friend like is like, "Is this really all you remember about the show? It was just a TV show." And then it flashes memories, and you see a scene where the guy he's trying on his friend's dresses, and it's a fucking pink dress, and he carries around his little purple sleeping bag or whatever, and it's like he's so
And the
pink.
scene
He's so pink. It's so
the
clearly that he
scene at
wants
the
to be a
carnival where
girl.
his mom's like, "You've just been like really sad lately. Like, is everything okay?" He's carrying just plain blue cotton candy, and it's like he's carrying around being a boy. Like the pressure to like
And then
appear like a boy. That's what he's carrying.
he spits on it and it starts dissolving.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
And oh my god, it's
And that's just like surface level stuff that you just see with your own eyes and are like, okay, yes, this is very queer. I see the connections that are happening here. I don't understand how people can watch this movie and not see anything related to
like a
being
transgender person made
transgender
this
at
movie
all.
about being transgender. The movie's about being transgender, full stop. And the fact that people watch this and are like, weird movie about being obsessed with a TV show is just beyond me. Like that's insane. When like the colors, the entire time the colors, and like just all of the imagery. The fact that the scene where like Maddie draws like the symbol on his neck was like kind of like intimate and like a little bit sexual, but you know Maddie only likes girls. That's because Maddie knows that Owen's a girl.
And then he scrubs it
Yeah,
off until like his skin turns red before he
and
goes
just like the
home.
way that time doesn't move quite right because like you're literally disassociating from your life. Like that's so transgender. The fact that we don't see his family, he just tells us he has a family, but we do see his new TV. Like that's just like a crazy way to present things. The As he walks through the school hall and like all the episode titles are overlaying, we see all the posters in the school, and all the posters are about like seizing the moment and having courage. Like he just needs
One of the ones that they like stopped on was like pain is only weakness leaving the body, and I'm like, that is the stupidest like fucking redneck abusive dad shit someone would say.
right. It's this the idea that like Owen is Isabel, and Isabel is suffocating and being buried alive. And it's getting Owen is running out of time, and Owen's going to die. Isabel is going to die. Owen's going to suffocate to death, while Isabel is buried alive. Is like, but like her heart is still beating, and there is still time. And you just need to claw your way out from the dirt. And he cuts himself open, and there's TV static in there, and then he chooses to ignore it as he like wheezes and apologizes for seeing his true self. Like that's crazy. That's so cool.
I really like the message that there's always still time. Like no matter how old you are, how far you are,
There's
there's always still time to open your true self and
there's
be
still
who you
time
are.
until you die. Like it's like don't die with your true self being suffocated. Like that's gonna kill you. Owen
Yeah.
is Isabel. Owen is a girl.
Because a lot of opposing people will say, oh, being trans or not being trans or like holding yourself back, that doesn't kill you. Like gender dysphoria can't kill you. Like how can it kill you? It can fucking kill you, and this movie is a great example of that and how that could happen.
This movie is so good with the horror being not transitioning. Like that's why the entire movie is unsettling. That's why like Owen narrates his life, because he's like seeing it on play out on a TV show, like the disassociation in the time and like the suffocating and it's TV static inside of you, because your heart's not in you and you have to like put your heart back inside of you. Like oh my god, they're all there. Like I don't. It's how can it get any more obvious? You can't. It can't be any more obvious.
The way people were like kind of talking about this movie before I like saw it when it was coming out, I thought it was like what I was hearing about it was that the transgender is it was like more subtle, and it was like totally like under like under the line, and everyone had to like really dive in to grab that. And then I watched it and I'm like, this is literally just like the transgender movie. Like, I don't know what people are
right?
talking about. And I think I was more listening to non queer people about this
Like,
movie. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? Like, it was kind of transgender. I'm like, this is like the transgender. I don't
I
know
don't
what you're
know.
fucking talking about.
It's so in your face. It's like it couldn't be more in your face unless they explicitly said it. Like bro literally puts on a
It's
dress
like
because of
someone's.
watching the show, and like they tell you that Owen is a girl. They tell you Owen is Isabel, and that's why your life feels so fucked up. And it's just like the only way this movie isn't transgender if you're just like, heh, Maddie's insane, which is like such a shallow reading of it. When the movie tells you.
It's like if someone like came up to you. It's like if someone came up to you and was like, it just screamed at you, I'm transgender, and you just go, but you look like a boy, so like you
Which
can't
is like the
be.
point. Like people don't
And
accept the
like
transgender identity and think it's crazy the same way that if you watch this you think Maddie's crazy, because like it sounds scary, like you, and like even to Owen, that's why it's scary to Owen. Owen has to take this like leap of faith, which is what the school hallway posters are saying. Owen has to take this leap and bury himself alive. He has to do something scary and unknown, and with the hope that like he can come out on the other side his true self. And that's what like it is to transition.
yeah.
And like you're supposed to feel unsettled with Owen's adulthood, and that's supposed to give you like the feeling of like gender dysphoria, the unsettling ending. Like, oh my god, cutting yourself open and seeing what's inside of you is the pink
What
opaque. Like that's, come on, guys, what are we doing here?
what do you think happened to Maddie? Because she kind of just disappeared. She's like one of those characters who is kind of just like there as like a guide, and then just disappears off the like plane of existence. And you're just like, well, yeah, she's just left, and
She knows that it's killing her to be there too, and if Owen won't come with her and accept reality, she still has to accept her own reality, even if Owen doesn't come with her. She knows she's transgender, and she, not literally, because she was lucky enough to like be a girl in both universes, but like you get the metaphor. She knows she's transgender and has to go and transition, even if Owen can't accept that Owen is a girl. Like she can't stay in the closet because Owen is too scared to come out. Is that? Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
yeah.
And that's why her scenes are so unsettling, is like she's discovered what's inside of her and what reality is to her, and she's trying to make Owen see it. And like it's like, this sounds crazy, but like you need to hear me out, like I'm transgender and you are too. And Owen is like, that's fucking crazy. I'm happy, I'm okay. Like my dad took me to baseball games, I'm a good suburban man. Like that's crazy. You want me to bury myself alive in like trust that I'll come out of that? And that's like trying to get someone else to transition because you know that you're connected, and you know that they're like you, but they won't accept it because they're scared. And it literally, like the TV synopsis being like Tara's the first one to figure it out, and like Tara, even Maddie saying like Isabel's a bit more of a scaredy cat when she's talking about the characters, like
I think it's really sad because it's like when even in real life when you figure out who you are before your friends do, like it's like you figure out who you are and you know like your friends are going through something and they just don't really see it yet or really understand it yet or haven't come to terms with it yet, and you try to help them kind of see who they are and then they fully reject it, and then you realize that you kind of have to leave them behind and they either have to figure it out themselves or they just fully reject it and live a lie their entire lives. And it's just so sad to watch that from afar. And I feel like if the movie was from her perspective, it would be I don't even know what it would be. It would just be so devastating. And I feel like it would be happier in a sense, but like not in a good happy, just like a settling,
Yeah, and that's
mildly
what's so cool about the
satisfying
ending is we
happy.
don't get what we think we will. We don't get a satisfying ending where Owen accepts herself. Like we don't get that. The movie ends
Yeah.
with Owen apologizing for seeing her true self.
And that's so crazy. He like went in the bathroom, cut himself open, and then walked out and was like, "I'm so sorry for what happened.
And like
I'm so sorry. Like I'm
it's
sorry."
yeah, we
And he
don't
just
get the
goes home.
satisfying like she transitions and accepts herself. Like the horror is not transitioning. Oh my god. I like this this is such a good movie. I
I
like the
I think
metaphors go crazy. The metaphors are crazy.
this was like the most queer way to make a transgender movie about non-transitioning you could ever make, because they could have made it like super realistic and made it like
The
a normie movie, but they added such a crazy weird
yeah,
ass acid trip
it's
style to it and like a
it's
weird
not
plot
just
line
like
with the TV
it's
shows.
not just like a movie
It's
literally
so
about a person
cool.
you know is transgender who chooses not to transition and is like uncomfortable. Like there's like it's just below the surface. Like if you just stick your toe in the water, you're there. But like you gotta see past the surf. Like you gotta open the book past the cover. Like it's on page one. It's on page one. You just have to go past the cover, and there it is.
Yeah, you
It's
just
right
gotta
there.
get through the
But it's like it's
preface
so cool that they
and you're
made it like a
there.
horror movie about like a TV show. Like that's such a cool way to tell this story. I'm obsessed with the metaphors.
Like I feel like if a queer person wrote the movie, but then like a non-queer person directed it, it would turn out to be like one of those like sad hospital movies. Have you seen some of it, like
Yeah.
6 Feet Apart or whatever? Where it's just like they're in a hospital and it's sad and it's just like, yeah, we're sick and we're dying. We can't do anything about it. That's so sad. Oh no. And then it's just like one of them dies and then it's sad and you're just like, well, and it's just like, oh, it's another hospital movie. But then this person, they like fully wrote and directed it and got all the funding for it. And they got like really great people to fund it. Like Emma Stone was a producer,
Oh my
aka
god,
she
I love
just
Emma
gave a bunch of
Stone.
money to this person to
I would die for Emma
make this
Stone.
movie, and I'm like, that is so amazing. I love her so much. I would do
I would do anything for Emma
anything for
Stone.
that woman.
You, listener, you need to go watch this
Of
movie,
course.
and you need to know that everything Maddie says is true. We see it in the book, and the director says that that's an important detail for the movie. Like you need to know that Owen is Isabel and is trapped in the Midnight Realm, and Isabel is buried alive and suffocating to death, and that's why Owen is wheezing at the end. And like, oh my God, it's there. You just have to.
And his inhaler didn't work.
Yeah, Owen is literally suffocating to death. It's
I think
so
I do
it's
need to
there,
rewatch
and
this
you just need
movie.
you just gotta open the book up. It's right there. Go watch this movie. You need to watch this at
Go watch it.
you
Keep
need to
your
watch
preface. I
this
believe in
at
you.
night in the dark, and if you are 21 years old in a state where weed is legal, be a little bit high. Those are my instructions.
Yes. Because we don't do crime around
Be
here
gay, do
except for
crime, but
being
don't
gay.
don't because we
Don't
are
smoke
not bad
underage.
influences. Smoking is bad for
Don't smoke
you.
at all.
We do not
We're not
promote
bad
drug
influences.
usage.
And if
We
any
partake, we do not
and if
promote.
any people and if any people out there struggling with their identity, just
There
know
is
that
still
there's always
time.
still
Go watch this
time.
movie
There's always
and
still
let it
time.
scare you, and to
You can
let the horror of not transitioning scare you so bad that you take the leap and start. You should
don't be
yes.
Owen.
Don't
Be
live the life that
Maddie.
Owen has lived. Don't. That's your future. It's holding a mirror to you, and don't let it be. You just gotta bury yourself alive and know that you're gonna come out the other side yourself. There is still time.
It takes beauty is pain, where you have to go through so much pain to come out your beautiful self, and you know it'll be over soon enough.
This movie,
Like it eventually will get better, and I know people hate to hear that it will eventually get better, but it does. It really does. Because life's a roller coaster. And even if you hate roller
this movie's
coasters,
gonna cut you
it'll
open,
end
and you're gonna
eventually.
see the
Wait,
TV
no.
static
Wait,
inside
that's.
yourself, and the pinkness on the
I
inside,
think we're
and you're
scaring
gonna
them
cry
now.
on the
I think we're
bathroom floor, and you're
scaring
gonna
them
make an
now.
appointment to start taking hormones.
I think
Okay,
we're
there is
gonna
still
scare him. I
time.
think we're scaring him more than the movie. And
My
say
favorite
say
character
our favorite
is
characters.
the Owen who knows that he is Isabel. My favorite character is Isabel because I want
That character
Isabel.
was not in the
I
movie.
care about you so much, and I want you to know that your heart is still beating, and you can still get through this.
Yeah, because there's people out in the real world who come out
Yeah,
as
your
transgender
heart
when
is
they're
still
like 60
beating,
or 80
and there is
or
still time.
you know, and
And
there's always still time.
it's
Um,
just Isabel is real. Is my point.
my favorite character was the color
My favorite
theory
character was the color
of the
theory.
movie.
You did, like, look at all the wide shots and just like look at the lighting and look at the
Yeah.
things that are on either like when they're in like in the vending machine light, the vending machine glows
The lighting was so
like of
good.
the pink on Owen. Oh my god.
Whoever lit that movie, they
Okay.
need their ass ate, you know?
Whoa,
like,
now.
They knew what they were doing.
I give this movie
They
5
knew
stars.
what
This
they
is
were
one of the best
doing.
movies ever, in my opinion.
I also give it 5 stars.
Yes.
It's going in my letterbox list called movies that give me an existential crisis, and it's very rare that a movie gets in there. But there are 15 movies in there already.
5 stars. Thank you for coming to Telly Talk. Happy Pride.